Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the worst fucking podcast you've ever heard. Both mics.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Both Mics.
Both Mics is a show about nothing and everything. That over there is Mike Sofka.
And that over there is Mike Taylor. And together we are Both Mics.
Welcome to show number 91 of Both Mics Heard Everywhere. Podcast can be heard. Right now we are live on twitch.tv/Both Mics. Check us out. Come subscribe. Tell a friend. We need your help.
No, we don't need any help. Well, you know what, though? Next week...
Free help is good.
You know, on 92, when you're on the Monsters Rock cruise...
Yeah. Next week.
Yeah.
Next Friday.
That would be a great time to interview somebody. So if you can find somebody to interview, even on the spot, that would be great. That'd be funny.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see how many drinks I have in me, and I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna kind of post up someplace.
Yeah.
Or if I'm just gonna walk around. Maybe on the pool deck.
Yeah. Maybe both.
Inside.
Have a little home base area, but have if the shit starts to go sideways on us, an escape route.
Yeah, I'll have to find. Like the Wi-Fi, where the Wi-Fi is best outside. And I don't know what the mask criteria is going to be. Monsters of Rock said that they're not going to make anybody wear a mask, but it's not up to them. It's basically Royal Caribbean's call. So I will I'll feel it out and I'll let you know. All right.
All right. Cool. Now you're going to bring your poker chips, right?
Yes, my poker chips, which kind of look like our sticker.
Yeah. If you have any more stickers, I want to see some band with our sticker on one of their guitars or something while they're playing on stage. Can you make that happen?
We'll see. I don't know any of the guitar players personally.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe you could have them hold up a chip or something in the picture with you.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, I want to start right off
What's
with...
happening? What's going on in the news?
No, I'm going right to my second favorite thing on the show here. You know what that is? Hang on, let me try to pull it up here.
First favorite being me.
Here you go.
Fast-looking alien! Where? Warning! Alien approaching! Warning! Biophysical experiments extremely dangerous for Earth people!
It's a pretty good robot. He's a little bit of an alien, too. But I think he's an alien robot. You could be an alien robot, right? Like, not all robots are domestic.
I computed the aliens. They are capable of sinister and dangerous acts.
You weird alien man!
All right, so the alien update. If you're new to the show, this is when we talk about the aliens among us here. Not the 7 billion people on the planet. I'm talking about the 7 or so that are running shit, that are moving our technology forward, that are changing us socially and culturally, and they happen to be making more money than God in the progress. We're talking about Bezos, Musk, Zuckerberg, Branson,
yeah,
Gates.
All those guys.
Yeah, so they either are aliens or they're close to aliens or something's happening here because of we got some stories here. Google, first off. Let me pull up my notes here. Hang on.
The Google box.
Oh, yeah.
Pull up my notes
I'm
here.
going
Hang on.
Google right
box.
out of the chute here. Hang on. If I had my shit together. If I was a professional, this would be a fucking great show. All right. Here we go. Google is making free workspace tier for business to business that doesn't need its email. And I think this is a smart move on their part, and let me explain a little more based on what I got from reading this. This is according to TheVerge.com. It's a way to get people using Google Docs and more without having to sell Gmail. Because if I'm doing business with you, whether it's on the internet or whatever, if your email is at gmail.com, I'm probably not doing business with you, okay?
Right.
Whereas if you got your website and your own mailbox and all that shit, there's a better chance. Now if it's something specific, like if you're hiring talent in the 407 area code or whatever, but most business that you're going to do online, you're going to want to make sure your shit's secure. But I think it's smart on Google's part to get people using... Okay, so you use Google Chrome or use Explorer?
I use the new one. What's the new one?
I don't know.
This one right here, Edge, Microsoft Edge. I
Okay.
use.
See, I'm using Google Chrome, and there's all these friggin' things that you can do with Google. You pull it up, and you can do a bunch of shit, dude. Like I pull up the little search bars, and everything's
With
there.
work, I use both Edge and I use Google Chrome.
Is that because you use Google Docs or what?
No. I Google Docs. I guess the company I work for doesn't consider that really secure. So people try to send me documentation through Google Docs all the time, and I'm like, hey, download it, put a PDF, send me a PDF. Don't give me links to your Google box.
Yeah. No, I look at my stuff here and I'm like, oh, this is great. I can do. I don't use enough of it, unfortunately. I don't utilize everything, and I'm sure I need to start doing that to get us to a better place. But
And if I have a loan officer or a mortgage broker I deal with who has a Yahoo account, I judge him. I do judge him.
yeah, well, right. I mean,
Are
you're
you
talking about
working
hundreds
out
of
of your
thousands
trunk,
of dollars. I'm going to trust that to, Fast Drink Boy 69 at yahoo.com.
Right. Roxy Girl 69. Yeah.
You ever had an embarrassing email situation, like somebody, like they're picking a winner? It's like at the I don't know, the Sunday bruncheon or whatever, and they're picking a winner out of a hat based on your email, and okay, I love the spooge69 at gmail.com. You're the winner. I mean,
Right.
you ever had an embarrassing encounter at work? Like you have to ask people, even applicants, for their email. I trust, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't speak with applicants directly, but
okay.
I judge you by your email. If you have an AOL account, I judge you. Yes.
You should be dead. I'm surprised you made it this far.
Right? Yeah.
How are you still on AOL? How's that work?
Dave Franklin at prodigy.com.
Yeah. I don't need Mike Taylor at CompuServe.net.
Yeah. No. And the thing is, like, my email that I actually, anything, if you look on the internet under Motley Brue, is probably me. If you just Google Motley Brue, you'll get the soft drink from
That's branding, dude. That's what you got to do.
And then everything else is me.
Now let me ask you: do they still have the Motley Brue? Is that it's like a one-hit wonder?
That was a one and done back in 1997. I have like 10 bottles of it from 1997 that I don't know if I would open or drink, but I do have them. I probably have one around here somewhere.
Wow.
I'll have to bring one next time. But yeah, as far as like when I'm resume shopping and if I'm looking for a job, I don't use my regular email. I use M Taylor or Mike Taylor. I have a different email specifically for shopping for a job.
No, I get it. That's what you should have. Hire Mike Taylor at whatever Gmail. That's fine.
Mike Taylor's the shit at gmail.com.
Yeah. There you go.
Yep.
So,
and I actually, when my boys were born, Xander and Nicholas, I got their email addresses right off the bat when they were born, and we send them emails every so often.
Smart. Smart. Look. I know a guy that his kids are.
Bob.
Oh yeah, nice. I know a guy. His kids are probably your kid's age, and he changed his cell phone plan or something with AT&T, and it was like family plan up to 6 phones for the same price, but they were never going to do it again, supposedly. There's the Motley Brue bottle. If you're watching on Twitch, is it dark? I thought it was blue.
It is blue, but it's kind of hard to see the blue. It's just so dark.
Yeah, that's what you want to do. You want to shake that up real good.
Yeah, when it's 24 years old.
Leave that in a hot car in the summertime.
Right.
In a cup holder, see if it'll explode.
Actually, I just thought of it. I should have gotten the Motley Brue tattoo in this font instead of the Motley Crue tattoo.
Now, here's my next question here, Mike. Have you checked this out before? Is there a MotleyBrue.com?
Give it a Google.
I'm Googling it now. I'm checking the domain. I might have to buy this one right now.
You motherfucker.
Then I'll sell it to you. Hang on. It's taken. Yeah, but .net is available, .info is available, .live, .org, .me is available. You can buy Motley Crude for $41.95.
Yeah, it's parked by GoDaddy. I'll bet you Nikki Sixx owns it.
That would be smart. Anyway,
Motley
you know me,
Brue
I'm always looking at this shit. I'm always looking at it. There's MotleyBrue.com.
Yeah, I just saw that.
When you do that, what you're doing is you're gambling on people that are drunk texting their shit on there and they misspell it.
Right. And misspell things.
And then you got your dummy site. Yeah, it's too much work for that. Anyway. Hey, there's something called a magic eraser. Your wife and you ever heard of these magical erasers?
It's a Mr. Clean product.
Yeah, something like that. Apparently, they're coming out with the same thing here on the Google phones. Google Pixel has magically erased with the magic eraser bug that was crashing photos. So apparently, and I'm old and there's people that are going to be turning off their shit or laughing at me, but I didn't know there was a magic eraser type thing on phones where you could erase people out of the picture and shit. Did you know that?
I did not know
Without
that.
Photoshop or too much work, you know what I mean?
It would be a Photoshop type of thing then, right?
Yeah, you take your picture, and then the Pixel 6 phone offers a bunch of stuff. This is according to AndroidPolice.com. Features are like magic eraser, face unblur. So if you're drunk, it'll undrunk your face, so you're not in a blur. And then real tone. I guess that's the tone of your... I guess this sounds like it's all targeted at junior high girls who want their selfie to look better, no?
More than likely, yeah. They know their market.
I'm just wondering why I don't know about all this shit and why this is a thing. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Wait.
Do you need to know about it?
Hang on, I got the wrong...
Are you looking at your pictures, wishing somebody wasn't in them?
Yeah, I got the wrong thing up here. Hold on, let me get that thing up there to get off my lawn, because that's what I'm fucking doing here. If I can... This stupid thing, I gotta roll it too much. There you go. Yeah, alright, yeah. So, listen. Just take the damn picture, take the selfie, let it be what it is. If you've got bad skin, I'm sorry. Like we talked about on 90, that's where you were in the lottery for the, what'd you call it, the ovarian bingo?
The ovarian lottery.
The ovarian lottery, yeah, that's the hand you roll. Now just remember, every time somebody else is faced with these problems, you can look at them and you can say, so that's the sperm that won, huh? Good. Good for you, you know? I mean, somebody way down on their luck, they say they'd never won nothing. Bullshit. You beat like 8 million other dudes to the goal and you got there. Yeah. You weren't just wasted out onto some toilet tissue or onto somebody's skin.
In someone's sock.
You made it to the goal. Good job.
Nice.
All right. That was entirely too gross. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
It's Mike_Taylor.
Nice.
All right, what else did I want to talk about here in this show here? Oh, Zuckerberg. This clown again. Tell me this dude ain't an alien, dude. Take a look at that picture. Come on. Mark Zuckerberg, who's supposedly no longer like running Facebook, but he still kind of owns most of the shares. And what a clown like this does is he's got the billions of shares and he sells them at a steady rate every day. He'll sell like 1,000 shares. You won't even know it. And this way he doesn't affect the market, but he constantly recashes out. He's got these little chips. He's got both Mike's poker chips, and he takes one every day and cashes it in. Well,
really?
He's issued a reminder, an apparent warning to users of Facebook Messenger who screenshot their chats. This is according to independent.co.uk. I got to go all the way to Europe to get this friggin' news.
Okay.
The Facebook founder and CEO of parent company Meta said in a post on Friday that an update to Messenger would notify users if an image of their chat has been captured by another person. I didn't know this was a thing either. So,
really?
Apparently, there's a new update for end-to-end encrypted Messenger chats, so you get a notification if someone screenshots a disappearing image. This is what Zuckerberg is saying. Yada, 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 yada. So
Well, yeah, back in the infancy of Snapchat, the whole thing was that you could send photos, and then like X amount of time, the photo would go away or disappear, but people could still screenshot them.
okay,
And
now
the whole thought process was, to use Snapchat with the disappearing photos, so it would be.
here's the brilliance of this whole thing. He just so happens to own another company that will solve this problem for you. This is like watching a fucking infomercial. No matter what time of night you get up, if you click on a certain channel, you'll see the same dude selling the same shit, maybe from 2-3 different companies. This guy is brilliant. This is a snake oil salesman type shit. They present a problem, and they conveniently have the answer to the problem right here. So they're creating the problem, and they're giving you the answer. The answer is in WhatsApp, because WhatsApp is now all encrypted messenger, peer-to-peer type thing. So I can send you a message, and no one can ever see it. So, except the person you're sending it to. Now, it's not going to stop them from shooting it that I know of. But don't you find this curious that this guy's presenting a problem here and saying, oh, yeah, be careful. He hasn't dropped this left shoe yet, but I bet that's the next step. No?
Sounds about right.
You're not following me?
Yeah, it's like taking a taxi from your cruise port to a destination for $5, but the trip back is going to cost you $20.
Oh yeah, there's a bridge like that in New York too. There's a thing going on right now, according to Euronews.com. Euronews.com. Again, I got to go across the ocean to get this shit because you can't find this shit here. Okay. Thumbs down for Facebook as users opt to #delete Facebook in a further blow to the social media giant. This is all in the past 24, 48 hours. These stories have popped up. Their stocks have been taking a tremendous hit. Meta's stock plunged more than 26% on Thursday, wiping out $230 billion in its market value. Mark Zuckerberg could see $24 billion erased from his personal fortune due to the stock drop. I'd be going out there talking shit, trying to pump up my business too.
Yeah, the thing is, I think they went from like 3.2 billion users to like 2.6, and it's going down. Facebook's not going away. It's never going to go away. It's not the in vogue thing for the young crowd anymore. It's everybody's moms and dads' social media. They're onto the new things, the TikToks and all that.
So you think it's just the youth movement, not a, there's a certain cutoff where they weren't using Facebook because that was what your parents did, and now that cutoff is getting near that prime age. Maybe that's the smart thing about this metaverse shit. Maybe they think that the kids are going to be more into that shit.
Yeah, but it's not going away. He's not going to lose his fortune, or Facebook is not going to cease to exist anytime soon.
Dude, if I lost $24 billion today, I'd have to go change my underwear.
Yeah. Well, it gets to a point where the money's nothing, and it's just keeping score.
Yeah, he's got his money for nothing and his chicks for free.
But as far as deleting your Facebook account, did you know you cannot delete your Facebook account?
They can delete you. They can delete you. I know that.
In a drop of a hat, but you cannot delete your own Facebook account.
I don't know about that.
I've tried. I one particular year I was like, okay, I spent too much time on this thing for my new year. No Facebook, so I'm just going to. I'm
sure there's a systematic dismantling that you can take. Maybe you can't fully take everything off the internet because once it's out there, it's out there.
Right. But you can't cancel your account. I'm sure there's a way to have your account deleted or canceled.
So when you tried that day, did you get like a message the next day? Michael, we saw you tried to disconnect from us. Michael.
We know you're there.
Yeah.
Pick up the phone. You can deactivate your account. Right. And that would basically make it look like you've canceled your account to everybody else out there, but you cannot delete your account.
All right, well, Tesla's in the news. Our boy really? Elon.
I'm surprised.
Tesla's recalling 817,000 vehicles due to seatbelt alert issue.
Okay.
Tesla has issued a second recall in a week's time in a case due to a chime that would not always sound if a driver's seatbelt was unbuckled. Yada yada, yada yada, bunch of nothing, yada yada. So
Wow.
if you have a Tesla, your car might be getting a recall here.
Because of a ding dong. Yeah.
There have been no crashes, injuries, or deaths as a result of the bug as of January 31st, according to the document Tesla filed. This is according to CNN.com, so this must be true. Yeah, I think it's a bunch of nothing. That's a big number, though, for them. 817,000?
Yeah, so probably what? 1% of the cars, and since it's a safety issue and a liability on their part, they have to let people know. Is somebody actually going to bring their car in and say, hey, my ding-dong isn't ding-dong?
No, because I don't like that sound, but that means you're encouraging people to drive without your seatbelt, so I get it.
Yeah, so they have to do their due diligence and warn everybody. You know, what percentage of people are going to bring their cars in for it? For specifically that, I say less than 5%.
I think there's going to be a day, and this is going to come, because, again, it's just a tip. We got to gradually get people there. But it's possible in our lifetime. Because think about where we were 20 years ago. You were buying a handshaker car for $7,000-8,000 to get you, be a grocery getter. That was a great deal. But think of where we're going to be in the future. In the next 20 years, I predict that next 50 years, you won't own a car. Everything will be, you dial it up like an Uber and a car will come to you. It's automatic driver type thing. So with that in mind, to get us to the next level, I think when you buy a vehicle, you might buy a share of a vehicle, like a timeshare. And maybe you own that vehicle with a couple other people and you schedule or you call on your own car. And then when it's time for the oil to be changed in the car, which you probably won't need because it'll probably be electric, but any maintenance due on a car, you would just press the phone and you won't have to take your car to get maintenance on. Your car will drive itself there. They'll do what they have to do and then they'll send the car back to you. You think am I crazy for thinking that or no?
No, that's very plausible. But yeah, I don't know. It would take some time. You know, you wouldn't be able to do it now and have people our age go, yeah, okay, I'm good with that. You know, you would have to, start with the youngest generation and get them kind of groomed towards that thinking. And, in 20, 30 years, it could happen.
Yeah, well, I know a lot of, we have kids that are in that 20s to 30s range there, where they're, I think that's where everything's targeted right now, because even though people like me and you in our demographic, theoretically, we have more credit, more disposable income than any other bracket.
Right.
But I think if you're investing in your company in the future, you got to target that 20s to 30s range, don't you think? Is that what you're saying?
Definitely. Well, that's the thing. You can't change our minds. You have to make it normal for the younger generation. So this way, when they get into that bracket of was it 25 to 54, the white male 25 to 54 is the demographic that has the most disposable income. You have to start them early. Even younger than that to let kids.
By the way, just for marketing purposes, if you're thinking about sponsoring us here on bothmics.com or What's Hot in Florida, what have you, that is where our audience is. That's where our audience is, 25 to 54 male. That's what we do. So if you break down the numbers a little bit, that's who you're getting. That's who's watching and listening to this. So if you have a product or something, you can advertise with us super cheap. Trust me. Just reach out to me. Go ahead. Sorry.
Mike_Safka at bothmics.com.
There you go. Yes. Perfect. Hey, there is something coming around, though, that I'm kind of excited about. And when I first saw it, I thought, this is way too cool. That is a electric sea glider. There's a startup company called Regent, and some capital money has just come in behind them because, well, in order to build this with this Boston company, they just raised $18 million in fresh venture funding from Thiel Capital, Jam Fund, Mesa Air Group, and others. Its sea gliders, this is according to CNBC.com, so it must be true. Its sea gliders are designed to Motor out of a harbor on a hydrofoil, take off at a low speed using the water as a runway, and then carry over the waves at a top speed of 180 miles an hour. This is an electric plane that's doing this.
Interesting.
Now, I immediately thought of one of the small neighboring towns here near me called Tavares, and they are known as the seaplane capital of the world. Apparently, they have events there and stuff, so I might be able to see this sooner rather than late. They say this company here plans to purchase Mesa Air Group plans to purchase 200 of Regent's fast-flying 12-passenger sea gliders to establish the city-city direct routes on the coast. I like this. Maybe I take one of these things down to Key West or something, you know? Pick it up.
Here's the thing, though. You know, when anything is battery operated, and a electric plane like this would be battery operated, you know, there's no cord you plug in. Anytime I ever get something that's battery operated, I'm always disappointed with the charge.
The power.
The power behind it and the charge. Like, you know, in the middle of having fun with your remote control car, your remote control airplane, and all of a sudden the battery goes dead and the thing goes crashing to the ground.
That's what happens with this fucking thing lately. I think they get to a certain age and they're like, yeah, run that shit down. We need them to buy another phone.
Yep. Yeah. So, and of course, now the batteries are locked inside. You can't switch the battery out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's
It does look a little James Bond-esque, though, doesn't it, in that photo?
Yeah. You know, it's an artistic rendering. I don't think that's the actual aircraft right there.
No. But, I mean, hey.
And they make it look cool. It looks like Miami in the background there. Of course, it's, you know, super, super posh and groovy. But, yeah, I'm always disappointed with anything that's battery operated.
All right, so I know you're going on a cruise soon. Have you been flying lately?
I haven't flown since Christmas.
All right. Southwest Airlines.
On Southwest.
Did you flew on Southwest?
Yeah.
All right. Well, they're now going to bring back alcohol on the planes, apparently for the past 2 years since March 2020. Now, here's the thing. I have a hard enough time, and I haven't drank in like 4 years, and I had a hard enough time getting on a plane and trusting somebody with my life and a giant aluminum fart can going 600 miles an hour. You know, I got enough issues with that, where if this bitch goes down, I'm supposed to hug my seat where some fat guy's just been planting 4 hours worth of farts on the trip to Atlanta. You know, so it takes a lot for me. So I need my beer, wine, hard liquor to get on the plane. Then I need to keep that party going while I'm on the plane because I don't want to think about that shit while I'm on the plane.
I don't think I've ever had an alcoholic beverage on a plane.
Oh, you have to. Oh, man.
No, dude. You gotta keep your wits about you, you know? When that guy comes out with the box cutter and starts slicing people up, you gotta be on point, bud.
All right. Well, I get it. You're right. No, you're right.
I can't tell you.
I think they should give I feel like Archie Bunker still. You give everybody a handgun when they get on a plane. Right. No problems.
Yeah. No, someone will be stupid enough to put a hole in it. You know? Yeah. Give everybody a plane. Give everybody a gun, and we're safe. But yeah, how about the people who have no clue what they're doing with the gun, and they freaking poke a hole there? They freaking shoot their damn dick off.
That's when you give a gun to Jim Florentine. I got a gun! Yay!
Hey, I got a gun!
You know what would be cool is if you got with, like, let's say you're chatting with somebody. Yeah. If they could do like a 10-second promo or something for us when you're on your Monsters of Rock thing, like. Hey, this is Kip Winger from the band Winger, and you're listening to both mics. You know, doesn't have to be fancy.
We'll see what we can do.
You'd be surprised. I did that on some sports shows, and they'll come through for that. People happy to do it. Yeah. Anyway,
a bumper, is that what they call it? A bumper?
Yeah, something like that. I'm sure. Just whatever. I'm not getting fancy terms. I'm not going to pretend like I know what the hell we're doing here.
Why don't we just make up our own?
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
You could do Tommy Chong.
Yeah, right. I'll have to work on this.
Tommy Chong impersonating Santa Claus.
There you go. Perfect. Yeah, you know when I had the Santa thing, when I had the white beard, I should have done that. I should have. Yeah. Thank you for reminding me. I got to write that down.
Yeah, put it in the calendar.
Anyway, All right, so McDonald's is in the news now again.
Really? Surprise.
Yeah. McDonald's is in the news, and I'll tell you why. They've announced something new. They've got a new burger. And people are saying this burger looks awfully familiar. It looks like they're using Wendy's hamburgers, the square burgers, I guess.
I was gonna say, is it square?
Yeah. Yeah. So
Where's the beef?
they're calling it a New York burger.
Really?
I don't know why. I don't know what this has got to do with New York, but they got to get a flavor on it.
Okay.
You'll have to taste the chain's new square hamburgers, though. You'll have to, and this is according to thestreet.com, you'll have to take a trip to one of the McDonald's in Japan. So it's in Japan, and it's the, because I guess in Japan you're like, oh yeah, I want to go to New York or whatever, Yeah.
Right.
Well,
The
have
whole
the
world
New
wants
York
to go.
burger.
Well, is it a White Castle reference? If it is, they're dumb because White Castle was originated in Kansas.
Well,
New York made it popular, but
well, let me
is
tell you
that
what
your
this
thought
is.
process is.
It's first reported by Tokyo-based news outlet Sora News 24. The new offering includes the thick beef burger, pepper and cheese. That's a beef burger with bacon, lettuce, and smoked cheddar. There's also a grilled chicken burger. Grilled chicken burger. How can you have a chicken burger? Either it's a chicken breast or it's not. Are you grinding that
Right.
shit up?
Probably. Yeah. If in order to be a burger, it would have to be chopped meat.
And I forgot to look this up because I did discover a rumor. So, makes...
Now, have you ever
Meat
seen a McDonald's
from-
with blue arches?
No, have you?
I have. I don't remember where, but somewhere I've come across a McDonald's. It was the motif of the neighborhood. It wasn't look like your traditional looking McDonald's. It looked different because of the area it was in, and the arches were blue. Very strange. I'm going to use the Google box and look that up.
Well, apparently, and this is all conspiracy, I'm sure, but apparently, and I saw this meme the other day, apparently some scientists in Japan are claiming that they can make meat from human feces. That's why I'm asking to see the plant. Whenever you show me this plant-based shit, I need to see the plant. Now, I'm not believing the Japanese thing. I think that's bullshit, but you ever see Soylent Green? We talked about this before. You ought to see Soylent Green. See the movie.
No.
It's a 70s movie.
Yeah, no.
You're not allowed to eat anything else because there isn't anything else. They give you Soylent Green to eat. And then at the end of the movie, I'll spoil it for you. Soylent Green is made from the people that have died.
Well, everything is made from the people that have died.
Yeah, but not directly.
Yeah, right. The great circle of life.
Yeah, but, put the cow in the middle of that process for me, please. I don't,
Moo.
I'm a vegetarian. I eat an animal that eats a lot of grass. I'm saving the planet. No, you're not buying it?
Yeah, no.
You're telling me that I should eat nothing but plants. I'm saving a bunch of plants. I'm eating that cow who was eating all those plants.
One McDonald's has turquoise color sign in the world. Visitors passing through Oak Creek Canyon on Arizona's first designated highway, Route 89A, are treated to the site of the only turquoise arches found on a McDonald's restaurant anywhere in the world.
When was this?
Yeah, I don't well, this is now, but this is not the only one. I saw it somewhere here in Florida. Or somewhere, but I've been to Arizona for 15 minutes once, and I wasn't there.
If you see one of these, you got to get your picture with it. It's kind of like my brother and I do this thing when, we used to compete with each other, going around the country to different games, sporting events, and scratching off, stadiums off the map.
Yeah.
Well, the stadium didn't count unless you got your picture with the mascot.
Ah.
We had to up it because it was too easy just to buy tickets and go somewhere. So we had to up the game. So
Up the game. I thought you were talking about your karate poses for a second there.
No. We haven't done those in a while, and I am going to bring that back. Yes,
That's a different game. Yeah.
I'm going to do the black boxes over the eyes to disguise us. so you don't know it's us.
Right.
Yeah, that'll be easy.
It's one of the mics. I can't tell which one.
Yeah, right. So, are you familiar with this guy? I just put up a picture on twitch.tv/both mics.
It took me a second, but yeah, that's what, Johnny Knoxville?
Yeah. He's got Jackass Forever coming out here, and according to IndieWire.com, Jackass Forever, Johnny Knoxville on the $10 million stunt they couldn't pull off. This is an interesting read here because he can't tell you what it was, but
Really?
what they mean is we did have something on the film. This is Knoxville. We did have something on this film that we wanted to do that we weren't allowed to do because it was going to be a $10 million insurance deductible. I can't tell you what it was. We may do it one day, but it was a surgery that no one needs.
Oh,
so I don't know. I'm trying to imagine what that could have done already. All right,
like,
so these guys.
Your thumb amputated and replanted on your forehead.
Are you a fan? You've watched these guys before, Jackass?
Not a fan. It was just past, I guess, my or our wheelhouse for entertainment. Kind of dumb, stupid, frat boy-esque, and I'm not a fan.
Well, I think it's at a certain point. I mean, I think I've grown past it, but it's interesting to me to see a guy like this age, doing this shit, and he goes on to say in this. I'm trying to find the exact quote because I did read this. It was pretty good. It's on the IndieWire.com. Let's see. He said something to the effect of, here we go. I think this is it. My pain tolerance is probably not that different from other people. It's my give a damn tolerance that's so low. I know we need footage, and I'm not very in touch with my body, so it works very well together. The producer inside me always overrides the performer side. So he's always fighting with himself in his mind going, go ahead, do this stupid shit. Go, do it.
Right? This will look great on film.
Yeah, I like
What doesn't look great on film is that single Windsor knot in his tie. Why can't people just, get normal and make a double Windsor knot and make your tie look better? You look like a child.
So he's back together with some of the guys from the, Jackasses you may have seen. I think a couple of those dudes are dead, though. So
Yeah. Yep. Now, an interesting fact, every time he does some sort of film or something, it's typically with Jeff Tremaine. You familiar with the name Jeff Tremaine? Director of I think like old Dead Grandpa, Bad Grandpa.
Oh yeah.
And all of the Jackass movies. Jeff Tremaine, also the director of my cousin's documentary. My cousin. Antonita, the cousin who had a parachuting accident back in 1966 when he was trying to break the world's record for the highest skydive.
You should do a Zoom with that guy, or us do a thing. We should interview that guy.
Somehow, some way, yeah.
Yeah, well, you got the end. Come on, make it happen.
Right? But yeah, Jeff Tremaine, Jackass fame, also director of Angry Skies, the 30 for 30 special on ESPN and on DVD about my cousin Nick Piantanita.
So you have a couple different generations of kids, and do you think the older one, do you think your son was into Jackass? Do you think he was into trying stupid shit or what?
Yeah, it was more in his wheelhouse. That was like a 90s thing.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, she grew up in the 90s.
So was he trying shit like this or no?
I don't think so. I think probably my generation or our generation were doing more dumb things like this. Jumping out of trees with an umbrella, thinking that you can float down.
Well, yeah, we had 3 fucking channels on the TV, and if the president was on, you were screwed. We needed to invent shit to do.
Exactly. Yeah. I can't tell you how many times, we've jumped off of the shed in the backyard, with an umbrella or a
daring each other to do shit.
Yeah.
Up in it each time.
I've made ramps that I would jump off of and like literally jump my bike like 30 feet in the, not in the air, but 30 feet in length across the backyard, without thinking twice. And other people would get on the same ramp and they would hit the brakes and fall off the back end because it was just a crazy ramp and a pitch that no one would normally jump.
I was always the instigator. Imagine that, right? I was always the guy who was like, yeah, you know what would be funny is if you did this. And that person would be like, oh, yeah. And they would do that. They would get physically hurt. And I'd be standing there going, wow, you almost made it. Wow.
I'm the same exact way. And I tell people that I wasn't the class clown. I was the class wit.
Yes.
I wasn't the guy that ran naked across the football field during halftime. I was the guy that recommended that someone else do it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I wasn't the guy who did it. I was the guy who said, hey, you know what would be funny?
Were you the guy, or were you the guy stirring it up to make like one of your classmates eat bugs and shit?
No, I wasn't like that. I wasn't into like, physical things like that. People would be in class and the teacher would be like, cracking jokes on people, and I'd be like, yeah, tell them that.
Right,
next to me would be like, yeah, your mom's, blah, blah, to the office. But, no.
That's funny. I can relate.
I was the guy that talked them into it.
Nice. So there's a big thing on, I think it's, I'll pull it up here a second. There's Pam and Tommy, or a reasonable facsimile of them. I don't know is that actually them?
No.
All right. This is from the
Hulu.
Yeah, I guess they have a new
show.
thing now, Hulu. There you go. You'll have to get Hulu for 30 days so you can watch this. Pam and Tommy. This is according to dailybeast.com. Hulu's Pam and Tommy only scratches the surface of Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee's dark, abusive relationship.
Yes. Yeah, they I'm guessing this docu-series, whatever, is kind of surrounding their sex tape that they've had. I've seen some sort of trailer of a guy stealing a safe, and from what I understand, inside the safe is where this videotape was found. And their relationship is very tumultuous, and there's a lot more to it than this vacation tape that they found, where they're boating on Lake Mead and driving around in a pickup truck. So yeah, Tommy Lee actually, I think, kicked his wife or punched his wife, Pamela Anderson, while she was pregnant with their oldest child, Brandon. And actually has spent 90 days in jail for spousal abuse for it. So yeah, he's been to jail, for her, and got back together with her after the fact. But yeah, his life kind of took a sharp turn when he married her, because she was completely in the spotlight when they got married, and he was something he couldn't handle.
All right. Well, let me ask you a question.
All right.
As a fan of Tommy Lee and as a fan of the band and all that shit, did that change how you felt about him or no? I'm not trying to put you on the spot here. I'm just asking, does that change?
No, it doesn't matter. My opinion is my opinion. Yeah, it did, but it was also in the point of the Motley Crue career where Tommy Lee turned into the hip-hop guy with his band Methods of Mayhem. And
I saw them, Methods of Mayhem. I remember that.
And him doing his electronic music and the DJing stuff. So yeah, it was in a part of his career in, I guess, the late 90s to early 2000s, where he wasn't a part of Motley Crue, and he was kind of like the anti-hero, I guess, or the the antagonist of the group, where everybody else wanted to be together, and he didn't want any part of Motley Crue.
I see. I thought it was always Vince Neil.
Well, yeah, in the early 90s, it was Vince Neil. And Vince Neil was out between 92 and 97. Then shortly after that, they got back together, and Tommy got out, I think, 98 because of a fight with Vince. And he was on his own until 2004, 2005, when they got back together for the Red, White, and Crew tour. And, everybody was dissing Tommy because of, one, he left Motley Crue, two, the music he was making during that period, and three, his relationship with Pam. She was like the Yoko Ono I think, of Motley Crue at the time.
Well, they go on to say here on the dailybeast.com, the saga went down as a major moment in pop culture history, with the stolen tape making more than $77 million in 1 year. While Lee was praised among men, Anderson was slut-shamed, and despite the couple exhausting their legal avenues trying to recover and control the video, they didn't make a cent, and the video is still in circulation.
I don't know about not making a cent. From what I understand, they sold, they sold the rights to it. I don't know if
it makes a better story if it was stolen out of a safe.
Yeah, well,
makes better TV.
Yeah, they were having their house renovated, and someone stole the whole damn safe.
So they say just 2 years after the tape leaked, and almost exactly 3 years to the date of their marriage, Anderson successfully filed for divorce from Lee in February 1998. She filed for divorce initially in November 1996, spurred by the stress of the tape and Lee's reported drinking habits, but ended up withdrawing that filing 2 weeks later. Now, let me ask something. This is interesting because I think Kid Rock was hooked up with Pam Anderson for a while, wasn't he?
Yeah, even Vince Neil dated her. Kid Rock. I think Kid Rock was married to her at one point.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So,
and who else? It was one other person. Tommy, Vince, Bret Michaels from Poison was also dated her. Had a round with her.
Well, I thought it was interesting. I thought that. Did you ever see that Borat movie where he tries to kidnap her at a book signing?
I saw that movie with you.
Okay, yeah, no, it's pretty funny stuff. Anyway.
Yeah.
So she's married to some dude named Dan Hayhurst since 2020.
Okay. She
was married to a Rick Solomon before that, and then Kid Rock. When you have your own Wikipedia page, and under spouse, if they list 2 or 3, and then they got a MORC button, like you gotta
dot.
Yeah, I'm like, really, bro? Really?
Wow.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, dude. You and I have had our ups and downs in our personal relationships outside me and you, and so forth. But I don't really know if I have like 7 people I want to marry. That's a high number,
Yeah, I never thought that I would be married to more than one person, and here I am on number 3.
No, stuff happens, I know, but I'm just saying when you're getting up there,
Yeah, there's only so many notches you can put on your bedpost.
Yeah, you got 3 babies by 3 baby daddies,
Oh, God. Yeah.
You had the trifecta.
I dated her.
Anyway, I can remember all that. That was like a flashback to the 90s. And being we're in the 90s shows there, I thought that was interesting to see. So my whole thing is this, is where are they now? Are they better for it now,
Right.
Hopefully they are. All right, so we're at a tight spot here because we got like 12 minutes left, and I'm out.
You're out?
Yeah, I'm out of stuff.
Yeah, stuff. All right.
We can be Get Off My Lawn guys again. You can tell me about. I just put the Get Off My Lawn thing up here, the picture. If you're watching on Twitch.tv/both mics, I'm trying to think of a Get Off My Lawn moment or something that I've stumbled across recently, and I can't really think of any. When you stay home and you don't go anywhere or do anything, you don't have as many of those Get Off My Lawn moments.
Exactly. Yeah, because your lawn is out there overgrown because you haven't cut it in a while.
No, I'm just saying, if you're not really dealing with that many jackasses in the world, you have very few Get Off My Lawn moments.
I leave the house every morning to take the boys to school. Sometimes I pick them up, and
sometimes you make them walk.
Once or twice a week we go to this place where the kids play for like an hour, and that's it as far as what I do getting out of this house. And like I said, I don't know if I say earlier in this show or if I said it in the last show, working at home, you never leave the office, Yeah. So,
well, you got to have that Jay-Z type mentality from back in the day. You're always working, You're not working, You're always working. Because it took me a while to realize that, but where we are nowadays is every interaction you make on social media or in person is a potential client, customer, or something like that. So you gotta kind of take that with a grain of salt or whatever. But I try to avoid most situations where I know I'm dealing with people that are checked out. I mean, this $15 an hour shit has really fucked everything up for everything and everybody. No more dollar menu, bad customer service, replacing people with AI. I just...
Well, and the thing is people don't realize that if you're going to be paid $15 an hour for what you do as a minimal wage activity, that the business that's paying you that $15 an hour is not going to be like, oh, well, you know what? I'll just reduce my paycheck so I can give more money to somebody else. Yeah. Well, guess what? They have a margin they want to hit. And so in order to do that, they have to raise the price.
Inflation, imagine that.
Imagine that. And, inflation, we're going through inflation now like we did in the 70s. It's pathetic. It's sad.
But the economy's doing better than it ever has. Just ask the government. They'll tell you that.
Yeah. Well, of course it is. Everything is better, But, now everybody's making a top dollar. Well, guess what? You're spending a top dollar. It's all gonna even out. People are gonna be broke.
My problem with the whole thing is this: if top dollar is top dollar, that's what it is. But there was a day when top dollar meant something more.
Right.
Like
right.
So
your grandmother on either side of the family, did she work?
No.
Right.
One side did, one side didn't.
Same here. My grandmother on my mother's side actually did work. I don't know about before my grandfather passed away, but after my grandfather passed away, I know she worked. She worked in the cafeteria of a corporate headquarters in New Jersey. My other grandmother never worked a day.
Yeah, no, same thing. My maternal grandmother, my grandfather was a veteran of the Navy, and he was a carpenter, worked for a major pharmaceutical firm for many years, did side jobs all the time, hustled. Good man, good provider. They did well under that situation. And my other grandmother didn't have it, quite the same there, so she had to go to work. She worked at White Castle. She worked a lot of hours. She was always working. And even into her 70s or so, it turned out where she was able to continue working. She was a greeter at Walmart, all that shit, just to keep working.
Keep active, yep.
It's amazing to me that's kind of where we're at. I think we've been retrained as a society that you have to have two incomes.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you have two incomes? Don't you want this? You have to have that. Do this.
Exactly.
But now everybody's at that same point now, and I'm okay with everybody being at that same point. What I'm trying to say is, I don't feel as good paying $15 for something as I did a year ago when I was paying $7. I start doing without, and they're like, "That's okay. You'll just have to do without." And I'm like, "Really? No. I'm not asking for anything major. I'm not trying to eat filet mignon and lobster every day."
Right.
But the price of beef and everything else has gone up tremendously simply because the fuel prices have gone up as well. And that affects everything. I mean, there's not a thing that you can eat or drink in this country that hasn't been impacted by two people, a salesman and a truck driver.
Exactly. Yep. No, and you could beat this to death, but if people expect higher wages, guess what? Your boss is not gonna. The owner of the company is not gonna cut his part out. He opened the company to make money, to sustain his life and to sustain his lifestyle and his family's lifestyle.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It comes a point where it doesn't make sense for businesses anymore. Then what do you have? See, they don't think this shit through. Because if businesses go away, what's that mean? Less tax revenue. There's less taxes from the employees that are working for that company. There's less taxes that the businesses aren't paying. Well, businesses don't pay any taxes anyway. Well, that's okay as long as they stimulate the economy by giving people jobs and allowing people to do the right things in their life. That should be enough, but apparently it's not anymore. You have to have two incomes like that. And imagine where we'd be if you didn't have to do that anymore. If you just have one income, do you think your life would be better if you could make the same money that you're making now with just one of you working? Would you do that?
Of course, that's a loaded question. Yeah, who wouldn't?
Well, I'm just saying that to me, I feel the same way. But I'm just curious. I don't understand why we have to have two people working in a family. But my parents did it. My dad worked several jobs. My mom worked as well.
Yeah.
Did your mom work too, or no?
My mom worked. Yeah, she was actually the main breadwinner in my family. Where my dad worked one job at a pharmaceutical company in New York. My mom was a psychiatric registered nurse, and she worked full time. Sometimes she worked 2 other jobs. When I was in college, she worked a full-time job as a nurse, part-time job as a nurse, and a part-time job in a dress shop. And she got that job so she can get clothes at a reduced price.
See? We're at a different time. We're at a different place now, which just, I want to say it's almost like a thing where we're conditioning the youth that this is normal. This is the way it should be. Well, you and I were at that point where it was at that change. Like we talked about our grandparents and so forth, but we were at that point in history where that change, that shift was happening. Now the youth or the people that are underneath us, the people that are now in that 26 to 54 range that are younger than us, they don't know any different. This is normal to them. Mom and dad both work. Mom and dad aren't at the same house. Mom, all this shit. And I'm not.
Yeah, that's a rough one there.
Yeah. So anyway. All right. Well, that's my get off my lawn moment here for the show. I'm glad I was able to fill that in here. So are you going to have a get off my lawn moment on the ship? Is there anybody like that?
It's possible. You never know. You put a couple thousand people in close proximity of each other. I'm sure there'll be something for me to bitch about.
Beware of stupid people in great numbers.
Wearing masks.
Are there ever? Hey, I forgot to ask you on the Monsters of Rock episode. Any fights ever on this thing?
I'll tell you, I've never seen a fight. I know a friend of mine wanted to kick Sebastian Bach's ass once because Sebastian Bach has an ego that wouldn't fit in the elevator. But yeah, besides from that, no, I haven't seen it.
All right. Well, hopefully on 92 we'll be able to speak with you from the boat. So tune in to 92. That'll be on Friday night. What's the date of that? What's the February 11th?
Let's see. Today's 4, so yeah, the 11th.
The 11th.
7, 11.
All right. So
2/11.
7 to 9-ish, somewhere in that area there, depending on connectivity and so forth. We'll have something live from Monsters of Rock. So time for shout-outs. Check out my friend Gino Losi. Check him out to go fishing. Catch some monster fish. He'll put you on the big fish every time. Check him out. Gino Losi, just Google him. Check out my friends at the Melon Patch Theater in Leesburg. You can see Dustin Levine's doing a great job there. They have stuff happening all the time. Make a donation, buy some advertising from them. Check out my friend Night Fan Stan from Jet Set Printing in Central Florida. Anywhere you need printing needs, get it from Night Fan Stan. That was a mouthful.
Yes, it was.
All right. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. We look forward to, and thanks for listening. We look forward to getting with you on 92.
Ciao for now.